All right, everyone. Looks like we're about to be live, and just want to say good day to you all. Um, Hope everyone's doing great, feeling happy and healthy. I still need to work on the resolution thing, but we will be getting there soon. I'm going to switch over to screen share. We could take a look at some of this new tech and talk about price. We were fortunately correct about yesterday's move to the upside, and let's see where that leaves us. I think I'm looking at the chart. I'll explain what I'm seeing here briefly, and then we can hang out. All right, so let's get on with it. Let's move this on over to Bitcoin. Let's mute this heat map for a sec. Okay. So long story short, all right, we got out of that horizontal area that was causing us some trouble. Um, oh hey, what's up, Al Cubes? I didn't see you yesterday, man. I was hoping to see you yesterday. Good to see you, brother. I was thinking about you yesterday, man. Fucking A. I was thinking about that time that when we were hanging out in the Dominican Republic, having a good time and smoking cigars, hand rolled cigars right there on the spot. That was amazing. Yo, what's up, brother? Charlie Sheen, my man from Poland. Um, yeah. So let's talk about the price real quick. Hey, we got out of the hole like we expected. All right, perfect, perfect, perfect. We had that beautiful amount of support down at this bottom. And obviously I'm still fine tuning the signals. We're going to work on that. Ignore some of the mess. Let's focus a little bit more on the narrative right now. As we were grinding out of this, yeah, there were signals, and look, there were signals everywhere. In the order book, we were grinding through. This is actually a bullish sign. Okay. This means that we actually did absorb a lot. Actually, you can just see it here. You can see the volume. Clearly, we absorbed a lot of liquidity, buyers, bulls, took out a lot of that sell side liquidity, which is expected in a bull. Like that type of behavior is a bullish behavior. Buyers that are buying so aggressively that they're breaking through static resistance walls, sell side, um, that's a good sign to me. It's unfortunate there is that much overhead sell pressure because right now we're capping out. This is probably the top. We're probably topping out at 68 7, range. We're probably at or around a local top. I don't think we can break this on this run. And that's what makes it a little upsetting because I wanted to get to the 70Ks a little sooner than later. I think yesterday I might have said, 3 weeks is probably the time frame, 75K or so. I always would rather be wrong on the shorter end of that time scale. Um, so, you were to set up a position and plan to be in the trade for 3 weeks, that's okay, and you're right, that's great. But if you're right in 3 days instead of 3 weeks, that's a lot of nice. Is it pumping? I wouldn't really consider this pumping. I would consider this grinding, winding and grinding up on the floor. And then we are probably capping out right now. I am going to say this is probably it right here. We're probably going to have our pullback. Where we come back is the fucking question. Do we like while we're on stream? I'm planning to stream until about 2 hours today, so I don't know if we'll see it. We're on a 5 minute time frame. We're paying attention here. We're gonna be on. All right, we're gonna check this out. But what I'm guessing, what all right, well, let's draw a couple scenarios here. What I'm hoping is a little da 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 da, a little da 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 da, much higher low. That would be really nice. Um, Something that probably will happen is more like this. Get a little bearish for a while, loosen out, find that bottom area, build it out, or unfortunately, we could cut all the way back, to this fucking area, this previous support area, and then be back off to the races. I hope you guys like my art. I put time and effort, hours into learning this craft. You wouldn't understand these lines. Damn near impeccable. I'd like to see you try Al Cubes. So yeah, we are just cruising. Hit that like button, guys, if you don't mind supporting the video. We're actually, I think, a little earlier than when we were yesterday. Maybe yesterday things kicked off a bit more at around 1 p.m. my time. Uh, which is, that's Euro evening. Yeah, dude. Uh, so that's kind of how I see these things playing out. For all those people that want to pop in for 5 minutes and get the immediate picture of what's going on. This is what I see, how I see. Oh shit, we're still drawing. This is how I see things playing out. We're probably doing one of these bullish options. Not all these are all bullish options to me, okay? My most ideal, because I'm a bull and I want my confirmation bias to be proved correct, this would be it. But considering it's Bitcoin and you're never really right for too long, this oh shit, sorry. This something like this is more likely. Bitcoin really doesn't give you what you want. You know what I'm saying? If you were to try to prepare along here, I think it would be an unwise idea. I think this is probably a place to close your long, reverse, and this is not financial advice. Um, but I would be more looking to close or stop and reverse, most likely, actually stop and reverse right here. And let's just mark that. Let's mark that. We need to hold me accountable, right? So we're gonna draw a horizontal ray right here. We're just gonna put it right in the middle of that candle somewhere. If I can learn how to do this correctly. Probably didn't even need a horizontal ray. All right, so this motherfucker is I'm gonna make that my short. Can we color this? Hold on. I'm always gonna be messaging Fabian. All right. All right, if we could change the color of this. Am I missing a setting somewhere that someone sees? Let's make the price line. No, 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 price line. Actually, let's make it dashed. Started. All right, dashed. I don't like red. I like white. I can deal with white. Line width. We don't need it too big. What's this glow effect, huh? Oh, oh, I kind of like that. It's just cool. Yeah, we definitely want that. Damn, there's something about this glow that I fucking like. I'm keeping it. Yep, we're doing it. Okay, so to those that have just tuned in, if you're starting from the beginning, I pretty much jumped straight into price. If we have any questions about it, please don't hesitate to ask. Um, so okay, we got my entry is this blue line. That'd be my short. I want to see if I can change it. Change the color. No. Oh, what? It went backwards? All right. See what happens. See what happens. How long back does this line go? We're gonna scribble again. That was nice. That was nice. That's a lot nicer. We have some support down here. Okay. You know what? Now I'm getting this stuff a little bit more. Let's just get rid of it. But we know that there's some horizontal support down here. Right now I don't think we need to travel back there. This is still my ideal scenario. We could go lower, but I think that now that we have some confidence in the fact that bulls were grinding through some of this resistance, I think we have a little bit more of a convincing argument that a higher horizontal support line will likely be the place we potentially land if things get real bad. What's up, MJ Moombo? I've been thinking a lot about you, it's Moombo, since yesterday's talk. Um, I I've been thinking a lot about it, man. It's an interesting concept to really put ourselves in other people's shoes, as different as we may be. It reminded me of this one interview that I had with a guy named Matt Hamilton, who is a very big XRP fanatic, I would say. I don't want to be disrespectful. What I mean of as fanatic is a highly intellectual dude that believes XRP is the standard, and in his intellectual mind, here's why. And he presented his argument, and he could do so, intellectually. He's definitely a good guy. But I hated him on Twitter. I fucking hated him. On Twitter, we would fucking, you know, fucking talk shit like crazy, internet fucking keyboard warrior type, talking mad shit. And then we finally met for the interview thinking was going to be this hostility. I hate you. I hate you. Fuck XRP, fuck Bitcoin, right? And when we finally met, it was just like fucking, I saw that like we had our guards up, but I was like, this guy's fucking cool. And then we fucking let our guards down and, had the debate, and it was just so much more respectful. And we became great friends as a result of that. I stayed in touch with him for at least maybe a year or two after that. He was a really good guy, and some unfortunate things befell his life, and it was very sad. But I shouldn't have even said all that. I mean, fuck. But just makes you remember that. I was thinking about that conversation we had a little bit, Mumbo. We really should treasure those experiences that we have, that bend us out of our comfort zones and change our expectations of what we thought, was going to happen. Um, yeah. So anyways, sorry guys, I'm getting a little fucking talkative. Is the music too loud? Is the music even sharing? Damn. You guys have just had to listen to my fucking bullshit. I'm gonna turn on the music. You guys someone please let me know if it's too loud. I probably won't know for another freaking 5 minutes because anyways, yeah, our trade is looking good. Our trade is looking good. Let's ride this tide. Let's ride the tide a little bit. Let's get an RSI up in here on my RSI, and let's make sure we modify this and then save it because I didn't save it yesterday. Let me make this a little bigger, is what she said, and do that. Okay. I like 13 or I like 17. Let's do 13 first. Oh yeah, let me make this a little bigger. Is also what she said. Align with 2, 3. The value is posted. I do want to make the okay. So what are we gonna do? Which route are we gonna take? My short is in. Um, potential move to the downside here. Has a couple different paths. I'm hoping it doesn't get too severe, but let's just pay attention to the action. See what we got. We got a $1 aggregation. Let's switch this thing up to 50. Let's just see what the top of the wall is looking like. And we're on Coinbase. So yeah, there was one yeah, so all right, a little bit of a green candle here on the 5-minute chart. Ooh, immediate. Ooh. I'd be shaking in my boots a little bit. It's gonna we're taking it on the short. Let's just watch this play out. Just hang out for a bit. Any questions, comments? Please don't hesitate to say anything, ask anything. Noob friendly. Any questions? Everything is fair game. And if you want to check out Ghost Trace, you can check it out for free right now. Link below the video. You also got Telegram and Discord groups down there if you want to join. So stay connected. So feel free to check that out. And yeah, just enjoy yourselves and say what's up. Oh, it seems like there's some support mustering behind this. Yo, what's up, crypto? Just chilling, man, just chilling. Just drew out a couple possibilities here. You know, we got our bounce from yesterday. We got that bottom in, that was nice. And now I think we can move on if we can pull back to a nice level instead of getting, you know, aggressive sellers to carry us back down to the 62s. I think what we're going to do is form a channel. The question is where, and the farther we get from above 60,000 being the low end of the channel, so let's say the low end of the channel is 65, that's a lot less threatening than the low end of a channel being 62. 62 would have a lot of people on edge for a long time. It would really draw out a channel, which would be nice, a nice profitable range probably. with some probably breaks on either side of that, most likely to the downside, multiple. Um, but yeah, I want to clear a little bit more headwind here and get into the 70s with like, maybe even above 65K low end channel and a 74 or 72 or something. It would just be nice to get out and really have a convincing argument there to say we were able to grind our way out of the hole. It's a bullish psychology is still a bit damaged. Bearish psychology is still pretty aggressive. So we're probably not going to do anything quickly, assuming it's all organic. Like the psychological patterns I'm discussing would be very organic behaviors. Um, but you know, I think today and maybe over the next couple of days we'll see where we reach this bottom. I think it'll probably be later today, but I'll just stay live for a while to hang out. I feel like, yeah, this is just a waiting game. How you doing, Oki? Crypto Oki? Got a nice leveraged Bitcoin long from yesterday going. Litecoin looking very good against Bitcoin at the XRP. Interesting. It's interesting. So, I mean, that kind of tells me, all right, there's still a lot of traders in the the crypto native traders. Um, Interesting. Well, congratulations, Oki. That's definitely baller as fuck. Uh, Looks like you're in a pretty good long. I hope it's a good long-term long. Those are my favorites, long-term positions that you set up and maybe you just whittle off a little leverage once you get to a nice profitable area, and when the pullback comes, you sprinkle it back in, and I think if you got in yesterday, that was a great opportunity, buddy. Well done. Okay. Did you read some of the Twitter stuff about Jane Group shorting Bitcoin? Seems they are now being investigated and told to stop trading. Okay. Seems like we're getting the top end of that grind. It's just, like I said, the preferable of the scenarios. A lot of that sell side liquidity up there. Hmm. Hi Joe, can we reach 74K anytime soon? That's a good question. That's actually kind of what I'm hoping for. I think we're in a pretty bullish case scenario here, and we seem to be even more bullish than I assumed, being that we've been consistently grinding through this resistance. I think at some point there needs to be a pullback, and I think we're near that area. I think this is probably like the toppy area. But I do think that if we can set a channel above 70K like this, if I think we're probably going to pull back at some point because we're still in like a building process. We're still like reconstructing a market after the fearful sell-off that we just experienced. So I'm thinking we're gonna have to climb there, like and build our steps slowly. And yesterday I was saying I would bet that we would be in the mid 70s within 3 weeks. It seems to be moving there a little faster, obviously, but which isn't a problem to me. But yeah, I think we're my thing. It's hard to tell right now because we're building. We're coming out of a really fucking bad place. So it seems like if bulls are feeling this way, like that was the discount, that was the bottom, and a few week later, whatever, they're now starting to feel confident that it can't go any lower than 60, then we can definitely get that psychology to move for us a little faster, move price for us a little faster. So I think we can reach 74K. I think we should. I am still long-term bullish. I think we'll go higher than that. We're just talking about the steps along the way, right? So I think, yes, we will be in the 70s, and I think we'll probably, head to the mid 70s and in there, I feel a little more comfortable building what would probably be a multi-month minimum, at minimum multi-week channel. I don't think we just keep climbing and climbing and climbing unless the facts can change tomorrow. Some sort of legislation or some sort of news article or whatever the case could be, the facts could change. But I am bullish. I do think that it is going to take time, and I think we're grinding our way there now. Oh yes, I put these in. Oh yeah, dude, I love when like lo-fi hip hop just turns badass fucking situations into like lo-fi turns like cool songs out of nothing, out of old cool stuff. Yeah, dude, DCA is the way to be. Hey, how's it going, buddy? Hey, you doing the Raider cache thing? Okay, I just found one over here, but it's looted already. I bet you there's gonna be a lot of those. But just seeing how many other people are doing it. You take care, brother. Good luck. What Rhythm Wanderer, where's your country? Nice, nice. How do you like Turkey over there, man? I'm not really up to date with current events, but how are things going out there for you? Ooh, had a nice little pop there. Little pump for Turkey right there. And just so you guys know, I'm gonna work on. Is anyone able to do the video in 1080p, or do I need to still work on that? Okay, yeah, I'm gonna try to do the OBS thing like by next week. See if we can increase the up to 1080 because I want you guys to be able to really clearly see this. But if not, you can always just click on the link below the video, ghosttrace.io, and that's free. You can check it out. We're gonna have hopefully next week the ability to load a preset. So like I'm working on like this, you'd be able to load this up. But yeah, we're going to keep building on this and make some cleaner signals. There's so much resistance up here. I'm actually quite surprised we're pushing into it so hard, so aggressively. Still, and that's a long time. Maybe this forming into a long-term bottom. Yeah, Charlie, I think this is like a bottom. Well, I think we found the bottom. That's what I'm convinced on. Uh, the bottom is in for now. Well, potentially like for the whole rest of the market cycle. That's what I think. Like is a strong potential here, and yeah, I think we can grind out of this, man. I think it's just going to take time. That amount of time depends on, generally speaking, it depends on, who we're dealing with in the market right now. There's still a lot of scared hands out there. You got to keep that in mind. People started sharing 150K chart already. That's wild. I think it's a little soon. That's called hopium, right? When people start saying shit like that, we know what that means. We got some desperate bulls. We need to build our way into some decent price structure first. Like, I don't understand why that's not the top priority. It's too hard to look at long-term stuff like that. It's just insane. Like, by when? By when do people expect 150K? If we stay above 67, it's good, I think. Yeah, yeah. I think we have a little bit more wiggle room because of the time situation. We're still pretty fresh in all this. But yeah, I definitely want to get out of this hole as quickly as possible. There's like no point in staying here. I don't want to threaten those lower lows. You know, it really is. It's a realistic threat. We definitely don't want to be dealing with all that. I still think the long-term picture is bullish, but it's just hard to really get behind it when, you know, things keep moving against us. Yeah, I really don't want to sit around and find out what happens down there. That's a pretty bad case scenario. If we hit 62 again, I start to get real worried. Obviously, that's the danger zone because 60K is the floor. So the closer we get to it, the more dangerous we are. Yeah, I want to stay above that area. Guys, I'm probably gonna call it here pretty soon. Unless we have any questions, I'm gonna wrap it up. I'm gonna go hit the lanes, go bowling for a while. Alright, went a little higher. Nice. Rolling over. Maybe some support, not bad. Alright, yep. Good seeing you guys. Everyone, you guys have a fantastic day, fantastic night, wherever you are.